Subscribe, like, comment and share to support the channel. Thank you for the support. The red demon started to walk towards Jean and Lou's team, wielding its scythe. It was excited to see so many humans together. It started to swing its scythe around, wondering which one of them it should kill first. It soon finally comes to a decision and swings its scythe towards the one that it had chosen to kill first. He had decided on the little red head, which was Snow. He was too slow to react in time to the red demon's attack, but Jean had managed to just barely stop the red demon's attack from slicing Snow's head off. Stopping the attack with his blade wasn't enough, as he held onto it with his other hand. He continues to struggle against the powerful demon's attack as he grunts hard to stop it. Using all his might, Jean had managed to deflect the attack into the ceiling from where they stood. The red demon was surprised to see this happen. It complimented Jean for being pretty good as compared to the other warriors from before. Jin's hand was bloodied and trembling over the attack. He started to breathe heavily as he thought of the fire element double-fin demon that stood before them as being stronger than he thought it would be. He curses over the fact that he wouldn't be able to take on another similar blow like the one previously. He gritted his teeth hard as he knew that this wasn't the time to be fighting against it, as he needed to protect the kids. Jean thought about how there was no time to think a little more about this and could only do one thing. Now, he immediately grabs onto Aang's arm with his injured hand, which surprised Aang. Jean had decided to run away from the red fin demon as he grabbed everyone and made a mad dash to retreat. Seeing Jean running away with everyone made it question if he wanted to escape. It started to lean backwards and took a heavy step forward before lunging itself forward with immense speed, which causes it to bounce throughout the tunnel. The red fin demon was covered in flames as it reached closer to Jean and the others. Lou sees the button and informs him that they needed to quickly get through the door and that she will press the button. But the red fin demon appears right behind them, shouting at the group that they will all die. But Aang presses his hand against Jin's back in that same moment. Before the red fin demon could grab onto Jean and the others, Aang had pushed them in front to escape from its grasp. Seeing this sudden reaction caused the red fin demon to stop in its tracks. As Aang and the rest continued to roll onto the ground, Jean looks back at Aang with concern and wondered if he was going to do what he was thinking about. The red fin demon slowly walks over to Aang as he stood up with his dagger inserted into the ground. The red fin demon tells Jean and the others that they would only survive for a little longer, as it had said before that they will all die. The red fin demon had once again launched itself forward to chase after them with incredible speed, but Aang was right beside the button and lifts its cover while his back was against the demon. Seeing that the red fin demon was coming close again, he instantly turns around and smashes the button along with its cover. The tunnels had began to seal itself as Aang remained separately from everyone else. Lu rushed forward and called out to Aang with concern. She tells him to watch out and to get over to their side, but the tunnel doors began to seal itself shut. All she could see was Aang's face as he looked back at them while the red fin demon was just inches away from him. "Ang," shouted Lu as the doors of the tunnel finally shut closed. She began to knock against the doors, calling out to Aang and asking him if he was alright. Jean could only recall the moment that Aang had whispered to him before pushing him away. Aang's last words were, "Protect those three." Jean finally regains his composure and tells everyone to calm down. He informs them that Aang had created a chance for them to survive and that they couldn't let that go to waste. But Tomo informs him that the demon was a double-fin demon. Snow voiced out his concern as well, telling Jean that even if it was Aang, facing a double-fin demon was too much. Tomo agrees with Snow and argues that it wasn't right to leave Aang behind like this. Lu slams her fist against the metal door, telling Jean that they should break open this metal door and rescue Aang. But Jean reveals to them that the door has been reinforced with a unique material, and then reinforced with an alloy. It can tolerate even an attack from a triple-fin demon. Was not that easy to break open. It has such great sealing abilities. They weren't even able to hear what's happening on the other side. Jean mentions that it was pitiful that they couldn't do anything at all. Snow then begs Jean to think of something. Tomo agrees and wonders if there was any other way they could help Aang. Lu suggests that they head back to the city and get squad leader Joel and Gel to help them. She even tells him to give them further instructions on what to do next. But Jean replies that even if Joel and Gel were here, there was no way they can be sure that it would work. But his eyes soon opened wide as he came to a sudden realization. He immediately recalls that there was another route that they can take and tells everyone to come with him. As they run through the tunnels, Jean informs them that these are tunnels that are split into different routes. One of them leads to the Rank A city Brian. So his idea was that they go to the Rank A city and ask them for help. He soon recognizes the tunnel that led to the rank A city and rushes into it quickly with the others following closely behind him. Jean knew that choosing this route means that regardless of what had happened to the other rank B city, they all believe that An can definitely survive till they make it back. We return to the metal doors as a green liquid is splattered onto it. The red fin demon had come to a stop as it tried to attack An. It turns out that An had managed to stab the inside of its mouth with his dagger. Our boy had activated his Sharingan. He then kicks the red fin demon away from him, taking a superhero pose. An looks up at the red fin demon to tell it that he can finally use all of his strength as his demonic energy started to seep out from his body. The red fin demon was alarmed to see the current state that An was in. It made it question if An was a human or demon. An replies back to the demon that he wasn't sure himself, but if it had put in a little more effort in trying to fight him just now, then An might have had to change into this form in front of Jean and the others. But now An was just curious about that fire element of its. Our boy licks his lips over the thought of having the fire element power. The red fin demon started to back away as it recognizes that An was at the level of a one-fin demon, but it changes its mind about it as it felt that Aang's aura was even more than a single-fin demon. Aang had finally unleashed his wood-bending skill as the tree branches started to appear beside him. He aims his hand towards the red fin demon, which causes the tree branches to launch themselves towards it. Seeing that Aang was a single fin wood type made the red fin demon happy as its fire element was just perfect to counter Aang. It lets out a powerful pillar of flames which burned away the tree branches that tried to surround itself around it. But Aang continued to stare at the red fin demon with a calm and silent expression on his face. The red fin demon tells Aang that it was going to eat him and turn him into its source of power, with a ball of fire forming from inside of its mouth. The red fin demon unleashes a powerful fireball attack directly towards Aang, but he manages to bend it like Beckham and dodges the fireball with ease. Using the tree branches to boost his speed, Aang manages to come close to the red fin demon as it continues to shoot flames from its mouth. Seeing Aang so close to it made the red fin demon wonder if he was going to engage in close combat with it. The red fin demon remarks that Aang couldn't touch it as he would be burned if he comes near the red fin demon. It soon poses in a T-pose and set itself on fire as Aang watches it from afar, but he still manages to deal a heavy blow to the red fin demon's back as it shouts out in pain over Aang's attack. Aang smiles and asks the red fin demon about who it was that told it that he only had the wood element. He tells the red fin demon that it was his turn to counter him. The red fin demon couldn't believe that Aang had the water element, but what was more shocking was that he had two elements. Aang had managed to grab onto its core and covered it in water when he attacked it from the back. An explosion soon occurs from where they both stood as water and fire mix together. The dust and smoke soon clears away to reveal that Aang was victorious. He held the red fin demon's head in one hand and its core in his other. More demons started to appear as growling noises came out from the shadows. Hearing those noises catches Aang's attention as he turns to see where it was coming from. An endless horde of demons soon began to make their way towards him. But our boy remained cool and collected, seeing that these were finless demons who must have been attracted by the sound of battle. Looking at the core in his hand, Aang wondered about the fire element double-fin core and about the kind of power it will give him. He soon smashes the core into pieces. In doing so, it unleashes a wave of fire aura that spread all around him. Raising his fist covered in flames into the air, Aang proclaimed that the devil's fire will become his power. The core on his chest started to absorb the flame aura that his hand held. Closing his eyes to absorb the power of the red fin demon causes a bright line to appear on his face and body. Aang bends over as his hair grew longer after absorbing the powers. Splendid. I can feel that flame burning in my body, yearning to be put to use, said Aang. His evolution had been completed. Aang had achieved double fin demon form. Seeing that the countless finless demons were rampaging in this direction, Aang recalls the way the red fin demon had used its powers. He started to form a ball of fire in his mouth as well and lets out a devastating wave of flames that burned all the finless demons that were coming to him in one shot. As the finless demons continued to scream in pain over being burned, Aang makes his way through the flames with ease, telling the demons that he was going to use their screams to console the dead soldiers that they had killed in the tunnels. His demonic aura started to look more vivid as he walked back into the tunnels. An exit appears in a damaged state along with some debris surrounding it. But an explosive attack soon opens it wide. Aang had appeared in it, but looking around his surroundings shocks him. He could see numerous civilians that had been killed all around from where he came out of. This was the current state of the B-rank city Pether. Aang couldn't believe that the B-rank city was completely razed to the ground. He walks past the endless dead bodies. Noting that this was a high-ranked demonic wave, he notices a fellow soldier that had been killed by a wood element. Could summarize that the warrior had been killed by a demon with a single strike. Seeing another damaged area beside him, knew that this was the result of a skill with a large area of effect. Was afraid that with this kind of power, it meant that there was a triple-fin demon that has gone around killing citizens. Soon recalls that Jean had mentioned before that the Pether city had 2 triple-fin core warriors and wondered where they were. As he walked through the ruins of the city, something catches his attention. His watch as the crows which led pulled his attention to something above him. He sees 2 warriors being skewered and hung above him. These were the 2 triple-fin warriors who had gotten slaughtered. Looks at them and started to cast his wood ability skill. He focuses the tree branches to reach out to the bodies of the triple-fin warriors. He takes them both down and places them onto the ground beside him, telling both of them that they were admirable warriors. He soon closes the eyes of the triple-core warrior, telling both of them to rest in peace, and that at least they can have a proper rest now. Thought silently about how this was such a terrible war as he recalled numerous warriors fighting against the demons. "You goddamn demon! What are you trying to do to them?" shouted a young boy who appears behind An. An was alarmed to hear that there was a survivor. The young boy held a dagger in his hands but was still trembling. He began to cry and noted that An looked like a high-level demon based on his appearance, and that he was a demon that can change its form to mimic a human. He tells An that he was saved by those warriors and wouldn't let things be if he wanted to desecrate their bodies any further. An wore a painful expression on his face as he knew that based on his current appearance, the young boy probably wouldn't believe him based on how he currently looks like, which meant that things were going to be troublesome. But as he continued to be immersed in his thoughts, 2 finless demons appeared and slices the young boy apart. An was alarmed to see this as the young boy fell backwards after being attacked by the finless demons. Before his body could even touch the ground, An appeared beside him and blasted the demons away with one hit. He immediately grabs onto the young boy and curses over the fact that there were still finless demons hiding within the city. He tells the young boy to not speak anymore and informs him that he was going to heal him with his wood element power called recovery. But life was draining out of the young boy as he questions Ang about whether he was a demon or a human. He soon drops dead within Aang's arms as Aang looked at him with a sad expression on his face. The boy's question lingered in Aang's head as he wonders himself if he was currently a demon or a human. As Aang continued to watch over the young boy who had died in his arms, countless numbers of finless demons soon surrounded him. Aang slowly stood up as his body began to leak flames and demonic energy all around. He thought about how whether he was more of a demon or a human, but he knew that there was one that will never change, and that was his determination to kill all of the demons. Aang had created wings made of flames as he looked towards the waves of countless finless demons that approached him. Thanks for watching the latest part from the voice of Manhwa. Subscribe for more content and don't forget to comment below what you want to see in the future. Like and share for more.